good morning, fishy people. I'm Alan Norris from FishOn TV. It's Saturday, the 15th of February, and today I am fishing in the Golden Rod Qualifier once again. This time it's at Lindholme Lakes. I'm not sure how many lakes are actually in there. There'll probably be 3 or 4 lakes in, I would have thought. But I'll find out once we get there. Now, the golden rod's not been too kind to me of late. I've not a couple of blanks at Southfield Reservoir. Didn't produce too much at Carmel Dam, and the same at Decoy Lakes. Loved it at Decoy Lakes, but it just didn't perform as well as what most people thought it would do in the area that we were at. But hey ho, that's fishing for you, isn't it? That's winter fishing. Right. Again, the golden rod's not been too kind, not just to me, but to 60 other people. As you can see, bar black sheep clouds, aren't there? Today, prediction is Storm Denis. Typical. I'm going fishing, and we've got a great massive storm coming over. 50-mile-an-hour winds, 73% chance of rain all day. Having said that, it's supposed to be raining now, and it's supposed to be blowing a hoolie now, but it isn't. It's breezy, but not the 50-mile-an-hour winds, so we shall see how that develops. So I'm not far away from Lindholme. I'm going to make my way down there shortly. But the Golden Rod Qualifier, for you people that don't know, there's 3 people can qualify today. It's in zones of 20. So if you win your zone, you qualify and go through to the final at Larford Lakes. There will also be sections as well, which I think I've explained before. That'll probably be split up into sections. 10 people per section, 6 sections. So you have a chance of winning a little bit of money there. I don't know how much money it'll be. It could be 50 quid, 80 quid. I don't know what it is, but you can. There's always something to fish for. So it's quite a good setup. So that's what I'll be trying to do. Trying to not have a blank, catch a few fish, try and win my section, and hopefully win a zone. But you never know. Now, I do know that Bonzai will probably be in. That ain't fishing too well at the minute, so I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, because it means you don't have to catch a lot to win your zone, I suppose. But I just don't want Bonzai again. I always seem to draw Bonzai when we go on as matches. Lads seem to want to fish Bonzai, so any lake but Bonzai, but I know what's going to happen, so we shall see when we get down there. Right, so I'm going to nip off for my brecco, have a full English breakfast, lovely breakfast down here, and we shall see you at the draw very shortly, so fingers crossed for a good peg and a few poles. See you shortly. Ta-ta for now. Bye. It's recording. Can I have a breakfast, please?
No, sorry, not today, thank you.
Have a small breakfast then?
No, thank you.
She's been camera shy, can you believe it?
Yeah, me, God
She's not shy at all. Have a breakfast, please, thank you. She's not shy at all, trust me.
Where you go, Frankie? I'm on Bonzai 56.
Bernie's 59, 60
Bernie's 59. Bernie's 59 for Tommy.
Here we have the record holder, Alan Norris.
I don't want
£3 on Bonzai. Worst weight in history. Oh, you can't.
I'll go 39. Right, we shall see you in the on the bank. See you soon. Right then, fisher people, as you've just seen, I have drawn Loco 39, and Tommy Pickney says I ought to be running there, so seems like I've drawn a decent peg. I've not drawn Bonzai, thank God. Not that it's a rubbish lake, I just didn't want to fish it again. But yeah, Loco 39, never fished that peg before, so I'm going to get down to my peg and a couple of rods set up and see how we get on. So fingers crossed, might have a few decent pulls today and a few mighty fish, because there's some big lumps in there. So we'll see you down on the bank. See you so. GoPro, stop recording. Don't stop recording like a woman, never does, it's told. Right, I'm here on peg 39. I'm not sure whether it recorded the draw or not, 'cause I think the SIM card ran out. Right, this is the best I can do today. I wasn't right sure how much footage I was going to be able to get, because we've got Storm Denis turning up and it's really starting to blow. I know Edley's going to moan about this probably being in the way because I can see it, but he doesn't understand all the gear will get wet and it'll just ruin everything. So this is as good as I can get. I'm going to try and get some footage if I can. All depends how strong that wind gets. I've got it pegged down. I've got, well, there's more pegs in than soft mix, so I've got it all tied down, but this wind looks like it's going to really get up, and it was absolutely slinging it down while we were getting ready. So I was sweating because we have to shove through all this mud. That was an absolute nightmare. Thought I'm going to have a heart attack on way here. So I'm on my peg. I've had a word with Tommy Pickney and he says I should be running to this peg. But I remember now, I remember Jim, one of our lads fishing in this peg, he didn't have a bite. But apparently Emma and Tommy have said that there are fish in this area. I've got a bit of popped up bread on at the minute. I am going to use either a pellet feeder, a hybrid feeder or a method feeder at sort of 30-35 metres. And I do know when I fished a couple of pegs down and I was only about 25 metres out at the most, and I did okay, but I was firing 8mm pellets in with the catty. You can't do that, so I can still put feed on and get a few 6mm through. But again, this time of year, how much feed do they really want? We don't know. Who knows? Who knows? So that's where I am at the minute. I'm out there at about 25 metres, a bit of popped up bread. There's some big lumps in here. I haven't gone fine on the line to start with. I've got a 16 to a 019. I've got 017 and 015, so we shall see. The thing I don't want to do is get a big lump on tiny line and lose it. So we'll just see where we go from here. And I'll give you an update shortly. So can you hear that wind? It's going to be dreadful. So I'll get as much footage as I can and we'll see how we go on. See you soon. Right then people, we're an hour and 15 minutes in and I've had one liner. I've not seen anybody else catch apart from this guy to my left. I think he's had one. Oh, I've just had a liner. Just had a liner. That's another liner. The wind is really getting up now. I mean, I've got this brolly peg down and it's blowing everywhere. Like backdrafts and all sorts. It's unbelievable. But it's the only way I can record, otherwise I'd be blowing my camera over. I daren't just fix the camera, otherwise it'll get wet through. But it seems pretty quiet everywhere at the minute. I know he's had one and lost one. He lost one in the reeds to his right hand side. I'm not sure whether the carp or F1s that he's catching. But it's proving pretty difficult at the minute. Now, you can't use a catty here, you've got to feed with a feeder. It's feeder only. I don't think I told you actually, I'm actually on peg 39 on Loco. So just in case I didn't tell you, you know where I am now. Oh, I thought I had another line and I think I must have just knocked it. So what I've done, instead of using a catty, I've put two medium feeders at about 25 metres, 20 to 25 metres. And I've put some 6mm pellets in the micros, offloaded those. They've been in about 20 minutes or so. So whether the liners are actually coming from that or not, I don't know. But I am going to go down there with some corn or I've got some soft pellets, some expanders that I can put a push stop through. I've got 6mm and 8mm, and I've actually got some soaked for the bright green in the pellet soak, and I've also got some of the F1 sweet pellet soak again. So I have a couple of choices there. So I'll try the bomb and pellet and bomb and corn on that line that I've fed. If I don't have a fish on this line again. If I do have a fish on this line, I'll refeed it with another medium feeder full. That's the only way I can really feed pellets there. Otherwise, I would be casting 3 or 4 pellets in that area. But it's difficult conditions. Like I say, there's one I can't see the anglers to my right because I'm a brolly. Emma Pickering's on peg 24 or 25. I don't know how she's going on. But I've only seen 1 fish caught out of 1, 2, 3, out of 6 anglers, and we've got 10 on this lake. I think there's somebody to my right might have one. I'm sure I heard somebody say that were a nice fish, but I couldn't really tell with all the noise from the wind. So that's the little update, not a lot to report. Just thought I'd check in, let you know how I'm doing. And if I get anything, I'll start recording again, so we shall see you soon. Right people, very strange little bite. I think it's an F1. Just a little tap and it dropped back. It does feel like an F1 this, but it's the first bite, first indication. I got it on the Juro banjo and a wafter at about 40 metres. Now, just had a word with my mate Turtle. He says they've been catching on popped up bread near the island, Sunken Island, which is about, he reckons it's about 50-55 metres out. So I've got to go back out there now. I've just had this, but that's another option for me. I do apologise for the footage, but like I say, this wind is awful. Don't be getting snagged anywhere. Oh, I think it's snagged on something. Oh, I've managed to get it out. Restricted with where I can put my rod. Typical. Oh, it's a tench. That's why the bite was weird. Can you believe it? A tench again. I think tench like me. We're getting tench at Decoy Lakes. Like David Wood says, you've got to be good to catch tench. Hey dear, can't believe it, a tench. Where's them great massive carp that are in here? There's carp in this place up to about £25 apparently. So there we go, look, a little baby tench. Better than nothing, I'm not water-licked. There we go. So I had to let you see that little fish. So that's why it was a strange little bite. It was a tench. So I might as well go out there again. And to be fair, before I had that bite, I did have like a little tap earlier as well. I thought it seemed like a roach bite, or it seemed very odd. Normally in here, when I fished here before, it's gone flying round. But there we go, nice little update, and we shall see you soon. Right then people, it's been awful. The weather's been awful, the fishing's been awful. The guy to my left has had 2. I saw Emma Pickering on peg 24 landing a fish. I don't know how many she's had. I've had nothing more on my long line on the banjo feeder and wafters. It's getting pretty much impossible to cast with any kind of accuracy. It's blowing so much to right to left, it's hard to nail it in the same spot. So I've left it at about 40 metres. I can pretty much get that thereabouts. I've tried the short line that I've been putting a bit of bait, a bit of corn and pellets down. I've had nothing on that, no liners, no nothing. I've just gone on a maggot feeder short, and I've just had a little tap there, and I've got a feeling these are little roach. I don't want those though. I was hoping to maybe get a few F1s. I've just had 2 little taps there. You need carp here on this lake, but I'm just having no bites on anything. The guy 2 pegs down, not 2 pegs down, 2 guys down, he's had 1. I've not seen anybody land any fish over the other side, so I don't think it's fishing brilliant, to be honest with you. And this weather, Storm Denis, what a menace. Oh dear. Just when you think things couldn't get any worse. But there's not a lot of footage today. It's been really difficult. The fishing's been rock hard. I'm hoping I'm going to get some fish on the short line with corn a little bit later on. We're coming to that stage now. We're into the last hour and 40 minutes. But it's looking grim. And I know these videos over winter makes it look like I'm semi-skimmed. I don't really think it's anything to do with that. The weather's been so up and down. It's been shocking, to be honest with you. I've got to say, it's probably not the greatest winter fishing that I've had this year. But you can only do your best. So we shall persevere with that. I'm going to give it another 10 or 15 minutes down here, see if I can get anything other than skimmers and little roach tapping the tip. If not, I'll go back out on the banjo feed and I'll try the last hour on corn and see if I can get a few carp from there. I desperately need some fish now. It's been bloody awful. So, not a lot to report, nothing very exciting, but trust me, I have fished this in the summer and they heave the rod round, but they're certainly not heaving them round today. I didn't think I were in a bad area today. They're just not feeding. Fish in winter don't feed, and they're certainly not feeding around here anyway. So that's all I've got to report to you. I'm doing my best. Oh dear. So over and out. I'll speak to you soon. GoPro, stop recording. Oh, just like a woman never does at all. I'll turn it off myself. Right, an hour and a half left. I've just been asking the guys to my right, because there's nothing else to do. The guy to my left, I think they call him Paul, he's had 2. The one next to him's had 1. I've got a tench, and there were roach, little roach. I've just had 1. But that's not what I were after. I were hoping maybe some F1s would go for the maggots, but they're not. So the guy to my right says that nobody's really catching. He hasn't had a bite. The lady next to him's not had a bite. I know Emma's got 1, but I don't know how many she's got. She may have a few, I don't know. I've not seen any landing nets go out over there. Cat manner. Fish! So I've done the patience game out long. I had the 1 tench, I had 2 liners. I've come a little bit shorter than where I was. I am going to go back out there. I've just put I've put micros and corn. I'm going to try and force the short line a little bit more. I have been putting little bits of bait out there. I've been emptying it pretty much a second or so after it started dropping. It's the only way you can sort of create like a catty effect, as if you're putting bait in, which I would be doing. I'd be firing pellets or cattying sweet corn out there. Having said that, sweet corn and blow everywhere in this. A little roach bite again. So I am trying to force that short line. That was a better bite. I should have struck at that one. Missed it talking to you guys. And just hope I can snare a few fish towards the end in the last hour. And the way things are going, in matches, the last hour really does count. So that's what I'm going to do. that's the plan. I'm going to hit it with corn on the hook, hair rigged, and see if we can get a few carp in the last hour. So there we are. It's been grim. It's been nothing to record. Action camera, no action. So that's my plan. Let's see if it works. See you soon. GoPro, stop recording. No, 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 no. Right, folks. I went shorter on the banjo feeder. And I put one of those dumbbell juicers on, a yellow one. And it didn't heave the rod round, it was only a little tap. But it was significant enough that I knew it was definitely a bite. And it definitely feels bigger than an F1. Feels like a proper carp. It feels very heavy, very slow. So hopefully it might be a decent size, you never know. I should be really concentrating really hard here. Why am I whispering? Got loads of room, I can shout if I want. But this feels like a better fish, and that was only in 6 minutes. And I've done nothing different apart from put a yellow one on after I had a red one, a washed out one, and this is the first time I've tried a yellow one. Same pellets, just that little bit shorter, and we've got one. So let's just see how big it is. Doesn't feel massive, but it's certainly bigger than, well, I think it's bigger, unless it's a big F1, you never know, do you? This brolly in the way is no good. It's taking a bit of line. So let's hope we can land it, eh? Now, I know there's a snag to my left somewhere, so I hope it doesn't go down there. Near the willow tree, I'm guessing that's probably roots or something. Could do with it being one of those massive ones, about 25 pound, but I don't think it is. Right. It's a fair size. That'd be about 5 or 6 pounds. Oh, it's trying to go under all those reeds. It just come out of nowhere, did that bite, because it's not much anything different. Like I said, I just don't think they're feeding right at the minute. It's that time of year, isn't it? Moody fish. Oh, come on. Be kind, be nice to Alan. Oh, it's going a bit again. Oh, it's going. As soon as it comes to the surface, come on, up you come. There we go. That's got to be about 5 or 6 pound, I reckon. Oh yeah, might be a little bit more actually. Might be a little bit more. I daren't show you it because I don't want it flipping, do I? And going back into the lake. There you go. On that little thing, belting. God, it's like a block of ice, it is. Right, I'll unhook this and I'll speak to you soon. GoPro, stop recording. It never does. Right, couldn't really show you fish there because when I actually put the fish into the net, the hook came out and got entangled in the net. So it was a bit of a nightmare getting the hook out. I had to pull the push stop out of the banjo feeder, take the line off and pull the loop through. I didn't want to force the hook back through the fish, you know, so you've got to be kind to the fish. So that just took a few minutes. I wasn't happy with the hook length because it was curly after doing that, so I've changed the hook length as well. So I'm back out there, same distance, very similar spot, typical. Cast it, there's a van that's my line and it usually blows slightly to the left. It stayed dead straight, so it's a yard or two to the right. But having said that, I've noticed my line, even though the wind's blowing right to left, the toe is to the right, so I'm not too worried about that. We'll see how it goes and see if we get another bite. But yeah, might be, I'm saying £5 or £6. I think it's at least that. So we'll see when we weigh in. At least I've got something to weigh in because I wasn't going to weigh just one tension, two roach in. But I might as well weigh in now. Now the thing is, I've put some food, fish and chips and stuff, I don't know. Anyway, I've put some bait, corn and micros on my short line. Now I had an indication there after 6 minutes out there. So what do? Do I stay out there because that is the first indication I've had? Or do I go on the short line now? Decisions. But I've got to give it another go out there, you just never know. And if I don't have any luck on this cast, I've got to have a look on that short line because there is some bait down there. And like I said, I've still not seen landing nets out. If I can nick 2 or 3 fish from there, you just never know for this section. We are competing with bennies. I can't see us beating bennies, to be honest with you. So I'm not totally out of it. I don't know what Emma's got, you see. Emma might have half a dozen fish, so I might be just talking an absolute load of rubbish. But we'll carry on. We'll see if we can get another one. See you soon. Ta-ta for now. Right, last cast. There's 10 minutes to go. Had nothing on the short line. So, last cast with the Duro Banjo. Let's just see if we can get another fish. So there you go, Duro Banjo. Get that cast out there and hope for one last pull. Let's hope I'm shouting fish on. You can't beat last cast, can you? Here we go. Fingers crossed for a pull round, eh? Just do with it heaving it off the idle back. Right. So there we are, folks. Last cast of the day. I will be going to the presentation, so we'll see it at the presentation. Don't think I've done anything, but I don't think there's a great deal of weight on this lake at all, to be fair. I know there's a couple packing up to my right. I've not seen these guys catch any more. I can't see. Oh, I saw Emma catch one. Looked like a small F1. I've not seen those guys catch anything. So that's where we are. Another golden rod just about done. We'll see you at the presentation. Ta-da.
Beg 6 pennies.
Well done.
Second overall, M. Harold, Beg 4 pennies with 55.11.
Well done, mate.
And the winner today, Mara, Beg 68 Bonzai with £59, gets
Well done.
the top 3 qualifiers are Mara, Harold and Fiskerton.
Right then, fishy people, it is the day after Storm Denis. Oh my goodness, what a day that was. I mean, I had to peg my brolly down in 4 places and all around my box, just to try and keep it steady, to try and get some footage, because if I left my tripod in the wind, it blew it over. That's how strong it was. And what a tough old day it was. Absolutely typical. Out of the 4 lakes that were in for the Golden Rod, the Loco Lake fished the worst, and I was in a decent place actually. I have fished that area before, peg 38. Like I said, Tommy, he said you need to be running to that. It's a good area, there are fish there, but it just didn't perform. The lake, like I say, performed the worst out of all 4, which is absolutely typical. You can't believe it, you can't write it, can you? I think bad luck just follows me about. Only in the Golden Rod though, only in the Golden Rod. I still enjoyed the day. It is a challenging winter. Just to give you an idea, I think £23 won our lake, and 13 was second. It was the guy to my left that came second. And then there were 3 other weights round about the £8 mark, including me. I came 5th by ounces, but you know, 5th, 3rd or 2nd, or even 1st wasn't going to help me qualify for the final. So that's how poor the Loco was fished. I mean, there are fish in there. 1 fish in there had beat that weight, and I'm pretty sure 3 fish had beat the whole lake combined, because there are some big units in there, as well as silvers, lots of F1s and all those kind of things. But it just didn't perform. As you saw, I had a Jura Banjo feeder, which was my long line, and well, I had a tench off it, 1 tench and 1 carp, and you know, it was a nice carp. And then I had a couple of bits, a few roach on a maggot line, which I tried. The short line, which I put corn and pellets down on, I was hoping that a few fish might turn up there, and I never had a sniff, a line, and nothing. Absolutely nothing on that short line. Nothing materialised. I don't know, did I overfeed it? Would I have been better going in there with no feed? I did try searching with some popped up bread, short and long, and I just didn't have anything. So I just don't think they were having it on that lake that day, because £23 for that lake is absolutely nothing. If you've got £23 on that lake, usually I don't think it's going to get you anywhere at all. And it actually won the lake that day. So that's how badly it has performed. I'm just on my phone. I'm just getting the results up, because I couldn't read Aaron's writing. He's tried writing in grown up, joined up writing, and I couldn't read a word of it. So I've had to find out of somebody else what the names were so I could actually read it. So Aaron, get back to school and learn how to write properly, or write in capitals. See, what goes around comes around, Aaron, doesn't it? Anyway, that was the match that day for us. I still enjoyed my fishing. It was a challenge. It's just not happened again. So my last chance to qualify for the Golden Rod is at Larford Lakes. Never fished it before, so again, disadvantage straight away. And that's on the 8th of March, but I will be making the journey. I will be trying again. So let's get on to the results. And you're not going to believe it, but when I fished in the Ledger Cup, I fished on peg 69, and there were a guy to my left on peg 68. He never had a bite all day. He packed up and went home early. I mentioned it on that particular video. Peg 68's actually won the day. How things change, eh? How things change. So let's get on to the qualifiers. I'm not going to do first, second, third, fourth and fifth. I'll just give you qualifiers. Your first qualifier, he was in my zone. Ben Fisk, he's coming with £48, and he's your first qualifier. So what a mighty fisherman you are. Well done, Ben Fisk, and good luck in the final. And your second qualifier, I think he was on, which lake was he? I think he was on Benny's, I think. It was, yes, Benny's Lake. Martin Harrell, he's coming with £58. So what a mighty fisherman you are, and good luck in the final. And your winner from Bonzai, I didn't want it. Can you believe it? It's won the match. It's managed to qualify. Oh, I thought it was peg 68. It says 65 here, but I'm pretty sure he was on peg 68. But anyway, he's actually come in, and it's Vic Molyneux. I couldn't read a word. I hope I pronounced it. I couldn't read a word, a letter of what Aaron actually wrote down. So I hope I pronounced it right. He's won the day with £59, and he's your last qualifier. Good luck in the final, and what a mighty fisherman you are. Well done, you qualifiers. So that is the conclusion of the Golden Rod at Lindholme Lakes. I hope you still enjoyed the video. Still not a great deal of action. I don't think I've done too much wrong. Looking at how these people have caught, they have caught on hybrid feeders, method feeders. I've pretty much done the same, but the tip ain't gone round. And I was quite happy with the setup. Where I was casting, it's just not happened, and that's what can happen in winter. So unlucky me. We shall have another go on the 8th of March. So thank you very much for clicking on my video. I hope you've enjoyed today's insight to another failure in the Golden Rod. So if you do enjoy my videos, don't forget, absolutely free to subscribe. Just click the subscribe button, click the notification bell, and you will get notifications as we upload videos. So we shall see you on the bank with our club on Tuesday. Can't remember where we're fishing, but anyway, we'll see you there. And thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the bank in the next video. See you soon. Ta-ra. GoPro, stop recording.